If I could go back and talk to myself before I started my own pressure washing business, I would tell myself 5 brutal truths that would have saved me from making these obvious mistakes. Hi, I'm Davis and I own my own exterior cleaning business. I started this business from scratch while working my day job. And today, I'm pulling back the curtain on everything I wish someone had told me before I took the jump. This is going to be uncomfortable for most viewers. Some of these lessons are going to be very revealing and some very shocking. But if you're thinking about starting a business, especially a service business, or you're already running one, or maybe you're feeling stuck in the early stages, this video will save you from making the same mistakes I did. So, lesson 1, your first idea will probably fail. Here's the first truth nobody wants to hear. Your first business idea probably is going to fail, or at the very least, it is going to look completely different from what you originally planned. When I started my pressure washing business, I thought I had all things figured out, that everything would be smooth sailing, start earning money from day one, people to call me right away when they saw my flyers, or at least when they saw my van pass by. But the reality is, I did not get any call from any flyers I handed out, or any call from anyone who actually saw my van pass by. This has been a wake-up call and an eye-opener. This felt like failure. And here's what I wish I knew. That's not failure. That's called finding product market fit. Your first idea is just your entry point. The real business reveals itself once you're actually in the market, talking to customers, seeing what people actually need versus what you think they need. When I started my business, this was my thought process. I was going to concentrate on pressure washing and specifically offer services to residential customers. But as I later found, that will not pay the bills. I needed to think about the season when I wasn't able to offer pressure washing. After listening to some guys in the industry, I decided that I would offer gutter cleaning services too. And later on, I added installing Christmas lighting outdoors. Here's the lesson I learned. Don't fall in love with your first idea. Fall in love with solving problems, meeting a need, and generating income. The business you end up building will be shaped by the market, not your initial vision. Lesson 2, nobody cares about your business. This lesson is going to hurt some feelings, but nobody cares about your business. Not at first. Not your friends, not your family, and definitely not your potential customers. I remember posting on Facebook, Instagram, and paying Facebook and WhatsApp ads in my first few weeks of launching my business. I was so proud. I had a new logo, graphics on the van, and posting of the before and after pictures of some jobs that I had done thus far. I thought people were going to flood my inbox with jobs. Do you know how many inquiries I got after all that effort? 0. Not even 1. And here's the brutal truth. People don't care about your business. They don't care that you quit your job or took a risk. They care about one thing. What can you do for them? I switched up things. Instead of presenting them what I offer, I started talking about them. Their dirty driveways, their overgrown and blocked gutters, their moldy patios, and suddenly people started responding. The lesson here is stop selling your business. Start solving their problems. Nobody wakes up in the morning thinking, I hope someone starts a new pressure washing business today. They wake up thinking, my driveway looks terrible and I have guests that are coming over. So here's my recommendation to anyone who is just starting their business. Be the solution, not the story. Lesson 3, cash flow beats profit. Lack of cash flow can potentially kill any business in just a few months of starting. I have experienced it in my previous business, and I see new entrepreneurs make this mistake constantly. They focus on profit instead of cash flow. Let me explain the difference because it is critical. Let's say you land a huge commercial job worth $3,000. On paper, your profit margin is going to be around $1,800 after expenses. That is a good profit margin, right? Many will think it is, but here's why you're wrong. If the contract terms and conditions say payments will be after 30 days, meaning you'll get paid in 30 days after completing the job, this would massively affect your operations, especially for young entrepreneurs. Here's something very critical that most entrepreneurs miss. To do such a job, you have to buy the equipment, pay for gas, and cover many other expenses before you even embark on completing the very job. That is money that went out of your bank account. Before you know it, you run out of cash. Remember that on the contract, you just have profit on paper, but there's no money in the bank account. With such a scenario, you're not in a good financial position to take on new jobs because you can't afford the supplies. This situation happens to many entrepreneurs, causing them to shut down their businesses. Here's what I wish I knew. Cash flow is oxygen. Profit is food. You need both to survive, but you will die from lack of oxygen way before you starve. You should learn to structure your pricing to get some money up front. 50% down payment before you start any job, especially commercial jobs that would require you to spend lots of money up front to get the job done. If you run your business this way, you will have cash flow to operate, to grow, and also to breathe. The lesson here is profit doesn't pay your bills, cash does. Structure your business to get paid faster, even if it means slightly lower margins. A business with cash flow survives. A business with just profit on paper dies. Lesson 4, you lose friends, and that is okay. You're going to lose friends when you start a business. When you start a business, you will quickly find out that some people are going to be mean and some of them are going to be jealous. And many of your friends are going to naturally drift away. Here is something that most people don't understand. When you start a business, your priorities change. Your schedule changes, your conversations change. While your friends are planning weekend trips, you'll be working. While they're watching football on Sunday, you'll be planning your week ahead. You will eventually realize that slowly the invites will stop coming. The group chats will grow quieter, not because anyone is mad. It is just because we were all on different paths. Here's what I wish I knew. That is not failure. That is actually growth. You're not losing friends. You're outgrowing a version of yourself that needed those relationships to feel normal. Here's the hard truth. Most people won't understand what you're building. They will think you're obsessed or crazy or wasting your time. And when you start seeing success, some will resent you. But here's the flip side. You'll find new friends, people who are also building something, people who understand hard work, people who celebrate your wins instead of questioning your choices. The lesson is protect your energy. Surround yourself with people who are going somewhere, not with people who are comfortable staying where they are. It is lonely at first, but it is necessary. Lesson 5 is going to make some people mad and click off this video, but it is the truth. Lesson 5, marketing matters more than your product. Here's what everyone else will tell you. Just focus on delivering great service and the customers will come. That is far from the truth. You can have the best pressure washing service in your city, the cleanest results, the best equipment, the most professional crew. But if nobody knows you exist, you're going to fail. Here's your takeaway. A great product with no marketing dies. A decent product with a great marketing thrives. You need both, but if you have to choose where to focus first, choose marketing. Get customers in the door, then deliver great service. Then those customers become your marketing through referrals and reviews. Stop hiding behind perfecting your craft. Get out there and tell people what you do. Here's the bonus lesson. Start before you're ready. We wait for a long time for the perfect moment to start a business. We keep telling ourselves we are not ready. We need more money, more experience, more knowledge, more time. All these are lies. The truth is, you're never going to feel ready. There will never be a perfect time. You're never going to have all the answers. When I started my own pressure washing business, I didn't have a business plan. I didn't have a website. I barely knew what I was doing. But I started. Every single lesson I just shared with you, I learned by doing, not by planning. Here's a great takeaway. Imperfect actions beat perfect planning. Start small, start scared, but just start. Because 5 years from now, you're going to wish you started today. So there you have it. 5 brutal truths I wish I knew before I started my business. I'm not going to lie to you and say entrepreneurship is easy. It is not. It is hard, and most people quit before they see results. But if I had to choose between working hard for people or working hard for myself, I would choose working hard for myself. If you can push through those uncomfortable truths, if you can adapt and keep going when it gets tough, you'll build something real. If you want more of this, the unfiltered reality, the real numbers, the behind the scenes of building a real business from scratch, join our membership club by clicking the join button below, or find the link in the description below. It is a community of people who are actually doing the work, not just talking about it. Drop a comment below and let me know which lesson hit you harder. And if you got value from this video, hit that subscribe button, because I'm sharing everything I learn as I build this business in real time. I'm Davis, and I will see you in the next video.